Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. God. Oh my God. I forgot I didn't have my headphones on. Oh my God, I'm loud. What if there are people listening to me? Let's put those on. Kind of dampens my own sound volume. Okay, let's try this one more time. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another episode on the Hyperminers server. How you guys doing today? I'm doing really good. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. I'm having really great. Now I'm really self-conscious. How many people are listening to me? I never really thought about that. There's probably people listening to me right now wondering what the heck is going on. But yeah, we're back playing some more Feed the Beast Revelations on the Hyperminers server. I know, we're playing a lot of this. A lot of people are pointing that out now in the comment section. I know we're playing a lot of this. It's just every time I go into the vanilla world, I just want to poke my own eyes out. And I just, no one watches Direwolf, so I just like, okay, just Infinity. I mean, not Infinity, but Revelations. We're going to play that because I'm having a lot of fun playing with a bunch of different people. We got Armitage and Voodoo Beard on right now, and I am rummaging around inside of my base, and I realized that's really loud. Let me turn that down. I was listening to music earlier. But I was rummaging around inside my base, getting things set up because last episode we built our house, which is super awesome. Absolutely love it. I'm glad that you guys like it as well. It looks great. It looks super cool. But on the inside, it's a little barren. I haven't done anything on the inside with aesthetics peels. I mostly, what I do, whenever I build like big elaborate things like this, I make the outside super awesome, and then the inside just gets open space, and then I stick stuff in certain places, whatever it needs to go. So yeah, that's usually how it goes. So what I've done since last episode is I've set up my AE system. It's down here. I've also done some wiring too. I put this in here. I put a fireplace. This was the worst decision I ever made. Whatever you do, don't light this. It doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. So yeah, this is the most fire we're ever gonna have inside this fireplace. I thought it would look cool for aesthetic build, but yeah, that's a whole big story that we're not gonna go into. I went ahead and set up my machines up here. I've set something up so that a way I've taken away the looping in this, and I'll kind of go over that in just a second. I've got my staircase over here, by the way. I plan on adding an additional staircase upwards because right now all I can do to get upstairs to the attic is going this way, which is kind of ghetto. So yeah, I need to fix that over there as well. So got basic power generation online with our 5 little generators. That's one of the things we need to do. There's a couple different things that we really need to do here pretty soon. And I've kind of set it up in the way that I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up doing them. So anyways, I got my power generation here, got my power storage here kind of going well, line going through here, energy acceptor to my AE system. So if you didn't notice, what I did was I have a terminal on every floor. I got a terminal up here. I've got a terminal on my second floor here, and I got my terminal on my bottom floor. So that way, no matter which where I'm at, I can always access my ME terminal. I thought that was really cool. I didn't plan that. It just kind of happened. Super awesome. So yeah, I've got myself my AE system on all my floors, and I set this up. So what I ended up doing to take away my big problem with loops. So if you guys remember, the problem with this system was if you, at the very end of it, it would start looping. And the reason why it would start looping is because it would stop accepting items from a chest, because generally speaking at that point, because the hopper, once the hopper ran out of items to input inside of the macerator, this slot would be empty. And then whenever it would squirt out whatever it was squirting out, whether it be just pulverized iron, let's just say that for instance, what the macerator would do, it would squirt that into our electric furnace. The electric furnace would then squirt that pulverized iron into iron ingots, and then it would get confused. So what it would do was it would check the adjacent block, which for some reason it checked this one first instead of checking the chest beside it. It would say, oh, it could go back in the macerator. So yeah, it would squirt that iron ingot back into the macerator. The macerator would then macerate it back into iron dust, and then it would make a loop. It would just keep doing that over and over and over again until I ran out of power. And that was bad. We don't want that. So what I have done to delete, well, what I've done to make it to where it won't do that is I've added transfer nodes. So these guys are from Extra Utilities 2. What they do, and this is kind of like a concept, and I've kind of tested it out, and it seems like it works fine, so I don't think it's gonna hurt me in the long run. I don't have a lot of like ores to test this out in bulk, but it seems like it's working. So what it's doing is that if I put an ore in here, the transfer node will detect that there's an ore, and it will then send it to any block that it's connected to that it will accept it. So if I put in it, let's just say an iron ore, it will say, okay, so I've got these two I can go to. It's gonna pick one of them. I don't know which one it picks. It just picks one of them. Usually it's at the lowest Y value. I don't know why. So it just picks this one. It says, okay, we're gonna squirt that in there. So it's gonna go in here, and then I put an eject upgrade into here. And so what it's doing is this macerator is saying, okay, I can eject this iron dust or whatever it turns into. I can eject it somewhere. So luckily for me, the way that these item transfer nodes work is they will not eject backwards because it can't go this way. The transfer nodes can only go this way. It can only go from the transfer node to the end of the pipe. It can't go from the pipe to the transfer node. It just doesn't work that way. So luckily, this is a one-way street. So it says, okay, I can't go that way, so I gotta go this way. So it goes into the electric furnace like normal, and the electric furnace doesn't have any upgrades in it because I've got that other item transfer node squirting, well actually pulling and then squirting whatever comes out of that into the chest. So it seems to work great. I've got them connected to all 4 of these machines here. So I've got my 2 lines here. I've also got my extractor and my compressor. I did it because it makes things easier later whenever I just goes into the chest. It's great. So yeah, that's done. So cool. Got all that all set and done in stone. I know a lot of you probably didn't care about that. So anywho, today I've got a couple different things that I need to do. Number one, I have the worst problem ever, and it's annoying me to death. I am out of storage on my drives. I've gotten all the types figured out. Well, I've got all my drives taken up with the types, and I can't stick anything else in here. It won't go, unfortunately. So I need to make more drives. That's one of the things that we need to do. One of the other big things that we need to do pretty soon is power generation. That's becoming a big problem with me because all I'm making right now is 50 EU per tick. I want to up that. I'm probably gonna make some more generators. These things aren't that too expensive. At least I don't think they are. I should be able to mass produce them with this. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. One of the big things I need to start getting into here pretty soon is RF. I already have an idea online for what I'm going to do with that one. Probably the same setup that we used back in Direwolf 20 for lava generation. Of course, we're going to have to build ourselves a builder. And now I know a way to power the builder using a magmatic dynamo to make infinite power that way. That seems like it would work. I don't see why it shouldn't need extra power to do that. I'm just gonna have to figure out a way to transfer the power because the lava will go into a magmatic dynamo setup, but then I need to move that up here because I'm not gonna have the magmatic dynamos up here. I'm probably gonna shove it somewhere underground. That way I don't have to look at it. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing that we need to do pretty soon because I need a quarry online because I need a lot of blocks. Also, RF's just useful for other things. But mostly for what I wanna do today is I want to start diving into another machine in IC2 that's going to allow me to make this super fast. I want to start looking into augments. I want to start looking into the overclocking upgrades. So these guys are kind of baller. So what the overclock upgrades do is that they make these machines from IC2 much faster. So if you guys remember, what in thermal expansion you can make resonant machines. Those guys are pretty quick. If I remember, I'll insert a clip here. If I didn't insert a clip, that's because I'm lazy and forgot to do it in post. So they're pretty fast, but these overclockers are way faster. Once you get so many of these, they're literally doing each cycle faster than the game can actually load it. And as long as you have power to feed into them, they're pretty stupid. So I want to start looking into getting these overclocker upgrades going. So in order to do this, we're gonna need something called 10K coolant, 2 copper wires, which isn't too big of a deal, and electric circuit. So that's not, or electronic circuit, not too big of a deal. The biggest problem we need to start looking into is the 10K coolant cells, or the 30K and the 60K. Each K just is a little bit bigger. So the way that we're gonna need to do to make these guys is we're gonna have to make ourselves something called a canning machine. So I could go through all the recipes. The only one that, I missed it. The only one that mattered was that bucket of IC2 coolant. That's the one that I need to look into getting first. So if we go and look up ourselves our canning machine. I know it's in here somewhere. Fluid and solid canning machine. So this guy is not too expensive, so let's actually look and see if we can make this guy real quick. Can I do that? Squirting? Nope. Is just not gonna happen. Nope. Okay. So anywho, I gotta make this canning machine real quick. And the way that this guy works is it accepts fluids and solids. I guess you can can food with it. Not really the thing that I'm gonna be using it for, but it can accept fluid like water, and it will then turn it into IC2 coolant if I add some things to it, and we'll kind of explore that whenever I do end up making it. Alright, I have done some befangling, and I've made some things, and I've started doing some stuff. Okay, so what I have done so far is I made myself the canning machine. It's currently doing its canning process of enriching water and turning it into IC2 coolant. Okay, so this thing is the most annoying machine I've ever had to work with. So instead of messing with its UI and trying to figure out how it works, because no matter what I did, I couldn't figure out how to get the stupid IC2 coolant out, and I couldn't figure out an easy way of getting water into it. It was just so annoying. So what I decided to do instead was I've rigged it up with a combination of thermal expansion and extra utilities to make this thing completely automated to where I don't have to worry about it anymore. So what I have done is I've got my canning machine here. I've also got a little portable tank here that's going to be accepting my water. Okay, I've got a fluid transfer node connecting the tank to my canning machine, transferring water from this tank into this canning machine from the left side, which is good. I don't know if it needs to be on the left side. I just put it on the left side because I could. So yeah, that's doing its thing. So what I've done next is I took in another fluid transfer node, connected it from the right side where the IC2 coolant is, and I'm transferring that upwards into this fluid transposer, which is accepting that IC2 coolant, and I'm squirting that into, of course, buckets. And I've got like a little generator back here giving this guy power, because I really don't have a lot of, I don't have RF going anywhere. I don't have any kind of RF in storage. So yeah, so this kind of is just like a huge U doing its thing, enriching stuff. The only bottleneck that I have right now is the fact that I am completely out of lapis, which is just wonderful. I've got to go mining and get a whole bunch of lapis for that. So let's go ahead and squirt some more in there, let it do its enriching process. I do believe recipe, it takes 8 lapis for an entire bucket of this stuff, but it also looks like it only takes 1 lapis for distilled water. I wonder what the I wonder how you get distilled water. Interesting. Don't exactly know how that one works, but distilled water seems to be better, but I don't have distilled water. I have just regular water. So I have to waste a lot of lapis to get this IC2 coolant, but in turn, it's really useful, trust me. This stuff's kind of a baller stuff. So what I need to do now is I made these universal cells. I thought I needed them. Don't really need them. All you need is buckets, but I made them anyways, might as well use them. Okay, so let's grab ourselves a bunch of IC2 coolant, and I'm running out of storage, so I can't throw them in there like I want to do. So let's go ahead and look up, nope, not the button. Sorry, you guys are black, no, come back. Okay, we're good now. Everybody can stop freaking out. The video's not broken. Okay, I accidentally hit F11, which if you guys don't know what F11 is, it sends it into full screen mode, which freaks out the recording. Okay, because why do they put F11 right above the backspace button? Dang it. Okay, let's go to IC2, and let's look up our, what's it called? Overclockers. Okay, so make an overclocker, we need to make ourselves 10K storage units, 10K cooling cells, which takes 10 plates and the stuff that I already have. So bam, got me 1, and got me 2, and I got me 3, and number 4, and 5, and I'm gonna go ahead and make 6. Oh, I can't, I'm running out of 10 plates. Let me grab some 10, I know I have some more 10. Where's my 10 in here? Grab me 10, I'm gonna go ahead and make some 10 plates. I wanna make a 6th one, that way I can make myself 2 sets of overclockers. All right, so I have made ourselves 8. Count them, 8 overclockers. I've also just got done with a little mini mining session so that we can test these bad boys out. And I've got some iron, some gold, silver, random bits and bobs. That way we can run through our system just to see how powerful these things really are. So let's go ahead and squirt these guys in here. This will start kind of feeding into the system. I'm gonna make sure I do all the ones I know that it will work. The rest of these I think will be fine. We can go and shove the rest of these back in here. Actually, I'm surprised they all went in there without the system freaking out. Okay, so let's take a look and see if this is working correctly. So we've got iron. Everything's feeding in there correctly. You're going into there. So I'm guessing whenever you are complete. Yes, okay, cool. So it's gonna start feeding into both of them, which is what I want. Okay, so first things first, I just wanna see how fast this will go if I just stick them all into one. Oh, that's much better. Oh, that's much, much better. Oh, I can't wait till I make a whole bunch of these, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, I've got 4 machines. We're going to split this up evenly through all of them. So we're going to put 2 in you. Go ahead and put 2 in you. Now I want to check something real quick. So how fast is this? Is this going to keep up? I always like to check and see if it's feeding in faster or if it's going through this faster. Okay, so it is definitely going through these faster than they are feeding in. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these out and then put one of these in here. And then I'll kind of play with it off screen to see what's the most consistent, because just inherently the macerator works slower than the electric furnace. That's just how it is. So I want to make sure that it's going at a consistent speed. That way I'm not getting bottlenecked in any spots. So I think 3 and 1 should be perfect. So I think I'm going to put 3 in this one and then 1 in this one, and then that should be good. Okay, so what I'm going to do off screen is I'm going to start making more of the overclocker upgrades. There is a point at which I'm using up way too much power, and then these guys will actually start to run out of power instead of going faster. And then at that point, then I'll have to actually start making other upgrades for them, which if I look them up really quickly, there's an upgrade called Energy Storage Upgrade, which increases the machine's capacity up by 10,000 EU, which might sound like a lot, but really isn't. So in the future, I will have to start making those. Whenever I start making like tons of overclocker upgrades, I'll have to upgrade this guy, or else this will actually run out of power faster than I'm feeding in power from it. So let's I want to go check something real quick. How fast is this going down? Oh, I'm not making enough power anymore. That's bad. So I am losing power overall. So I am going to have to start making more Jennies. Great. So anyways, I've got a lot of power in storage right now. I got 3.5 million. So this won't, I have a feeling I won't go through all of this trying to get through all of these ores down here. I really needed these. I was running out of ores, and make sure the system's still going good. Good, sweet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this go through. I'm also going to start working on getting more generators online, because I do want to have a surplus of energy. So right now I'm going to focus on generators and only generators. Soon I want to start working on 2 solars, and then eventually doing lava power for EU, because they do have the equivalent of the magmatic dynamos for EU called I'm pretty sure we've looked at them before. Let me see if I can see them real quick. I think I don't even know what it's called. Which one is it? Which one are you? Blast? No. Thermal? Is it? No, not that one. There it is. Geothermal generators. Okay, so these guys are the equivalent. They actually turn lava into power. And then I want to make a whole bunch of these to make a ton of EU. And the reason I want to do that is my ultimate goal is I want to have a ton of EU on storage. That way I can start running something called a mass fabricator. So the mass fabricator is a really awesome item. So if we end up looking at the mass fab, I know my mass fab's somewhere in here. It's somewhere. Let's just look at this. Let's go mass. So if we look at the mass fabricator, they're pretty expensive to make. They are tier 3, so I don't have to put any upgrades in them. That's perfect. I don't have to worry about putting augments into them. But the mass fabricator, what's really cool about these guys is over time, as they take in energy, they make UU matter, which is awesome. UU matter is, if it's still the same as it used to be, UU matter could be used to make anything, including the one thing that I want to make, which is iridium. So that's great. So that's what I'm ultimately working towards, is trying to make a mass fabricator. That way I can make some UU matter, which will then in turn make myself iridium, which will then allow me to make the quantum armor suit. So that's my ultimate goal throughout all this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a whole bunch of these guys, so that way I can get some more EU online, because it's going down, steadily going down. All right, I have made myself some more generators, which might look like a lot, but I'm only making 130 EU per tick, which is nothing. So yeah, these guys will not be lasting forever, but I am going to keep them for now, just so I can make, some sparse EU. Keep these 2 kind of fulled up. Of course, we're going to be upgrading these to the MFFSs whenever we do get into that sort of thing. Of course, this should be enough for what we need for right now. I also, off screen, I went ahead and made myself some more storage drives. I filled this guy up almost to the brim. I know I've got one left. I didn't want to keep going, but I made this guy, and I've kind of just filled it up with 4K storage drives for right now, which is great, which is enough for what I needed to do. I needed to put more stuff in here. Now I don't have to worry about storage anymore. Perfect, great, is all, it's good. Okay, so now the last thing that I need to do is I need to start working on getting some RF going. Luckily for me, I was hanging out with Armitage and he had some leftover resident magnetic dynamos, so he gave them to me. So thank you so much to him. Thank you, Armitage, for letting me have these. I'll put these to good use for later. I'll probably just set up some generic power. I don't know how much these guys make. Hold on, let's set these down real quick. Do you tell me how much you make? 120 RF per tick without the augments. So I'm guessing with the augments, they'll do even more. So we'll be able to make some good amount of RF throughout these 4 that he did end up giving me. So yeah, this will be a good jumpstart for us for when we do get into RF stuff like that. But that is gonna be it for today's episode, guys. I hope you guys had fun today because I had a ton of fun today. So don't forget, guys, if you hated this video, you guys know where to put it. But if you didn't enjoy it, do not forget to hit the like button, guys. Like I was gonna say, you guys been enjoying the mega support on all of our series. So I want to say thank you guys for your support. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sitting through the entirety of the video. I'm losing my mouth. My speech has gone completely haywire. I've been sitting here for way too long, playing Minecraft for way too long. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab some food. I'm starving. Anyways, don't forget to post any questions, comments, small box, comment section down there. All of it for me, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Have a great and wonderful rest of your day. See you guys in the next video.